तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू चलता चल.
We have today with us NSB recommended and those who are there trying for naval entries. This would be a learning experience for them. Generally, people ask me, what about naval entries? So he's recommended in his 13th attempt in SSC Tech IT, Indian Navy, from NSB Vishakhapatnam. And there is a unique thing here. He, apart from being from Haryana, he has been in army public schools across India, and he had also done his technical education in Army Institute of Technology. So first, we will ask Ritesh about his background, about his schooling, and his experience in army public schools across India, wherever he had been. This had been perhaps enough motivation for joining the defense services. Please go ahead.
Hi everyone. Good morning, sir. My name is Ritesh Kumar. I am from Nandgaon, Bhiwani, Haryana. And as my father was in Indian Army as a soldier, so I used to get transferred from across India. So talking about in like various army public schools, I have been in Chandigarh, then Yolkand, then Lucknow, Pune, as well as in Hisar also. So the motivation towards armed forces is the first of all, I come from a very rural background, and whatever I am today, whatever education I have pursued, just because of the facilities and the things that have been provided from the armed forces, and I wanted to just work from the armed forces. And second thing, I've seen my father working late hours after their working hours, and the dedication towards his work also motivated me to join the armed forces.
Okay.
And yes.
That's great. And people are curious to know what happens at Army Institute of Technology. This is Army Public School, or let's say people do have experience in Sainik Public Schools. I have friends in Sainik Public School, but Army Institute of Technology, Pune, this is entirely a different thing. And those who are passed out from various regional engineering colleges, even IITs, NITs would be keen to know what happens in Army Institute of Technology.
So, unlike any other engineering college, in Army Institute of Technology, only dependents of Indian Army can join. Not from Indian Air Force, not from Indian Navy. Only dependents of Indian Army can join that, and you can apply it to your IIT exam. Like then there will be a totally merit based, irrespective of any reservation. If you have the aggregate, you will get the seat. Otherwise, you won't get the seat. And the difference is like all the army brats just get enrolled in the college, and we have a totally a very growing thing that happen in AIT. So like everyone is focused to learn new things and explore various other options that they want to do. Like in our college, there are few people who are working in startups. There are few people who are going for management. There are few people who are going to abroad. So you will find different kinds of people over there, and you can try each and every option, and which option suits you, you can go for that. So how this thing helps is because we get interaction, a lot of interaction with our seniors. So this senior things plays a very major role that most of us have heard about that in Sainik School or in NDA or in any of the academics of Indian Armed Forces. So there we have a close bond with our seniors who always guide us. So which I feel that is a little bit missing in different engineering colleges. So this is one thing that really helps. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much. Then now let us start with your SSB experience. You said that it was your 13th attempt. Please tell us what kept you motivated. Plus, something about your previous attempts.
Okay, so and like any other aspirant, so I got influenced by the various myths, like everyone would can read on internet or somewhere else. So this took me actually 13 attempts to get recommendation, and to clear all this mentality, I finally figured out that the problem is within me, not with like the entry that I'm going with, not the number of the candidates who are reporting or the type of entry. Actually, if a person is not getting recommended, it's only his entire fault, nothing the fault of anyone else. So this took me realization. So then I worked on, and talking about my previous SSC experience. So as I told that, like I have heard about that this person got recommended by doing this thing, so I did that. So that was not my personality. That was not Ritesh Kumar. So and the SS are very, they are very, experienced and professional in this way, so they are easily able to figure out you are this person or you are not that kind of person. So just playing on my strengths and weaknesses, I was able to make it into this attempt.
Okay, uh, that was great. Uh, Tell us something like you had to unlearn something that you must have learned somewhere, or you had to break your preconceived notions. Tell us something about it.
Okay, so the preconceived ideas just stick to the psychology test. So as most of people have said, you need to come up with a very positive thing, with a very good story, right? There is a misconception like you should have a good story. In my psychology test, I just cleared my mind. I was like totally blank. And I was like, okay, just observe the picture clearly. And I observed the picture. Sometime it took me more than 30 seconds, actually around a minute also. Then what I did was I took very small things from the entire picture and try to make out the story. And I totally relate the story through my PIQ form because I have experienced a lot of things. So I was trying to relate the entire story to that, so that my taste and could come out. And then I wrote this story. So like the thing, what I would say, missing out like people can have there are a lot of pictures available of SSB on internet. So like there is a person who is running that will be shown. So most of them will say, okay, the person running is preparing for a 400-meter race, 400 meters, whatever, and he go and win the race. Okay. So what's my perspective? This is not me. Na? I was a basketball player. So I wrote that person is running to build his stamina for this basketball event, and actually he runs various laps. He builds stamina. Then he practices basketball skills and shooting everything. Practice with the teamwork with the help of the coach, and also focus in diet. These small points I was not adding, which was my experience, which I all learned over my life. I was just trying to get a good story, and actually, which was not the need. I think it was like what I have experienced. So these small details I added, that person would be doing this, and so what I that thing I wrote, and one point that I added earlier, that the small details in the picture are very important. Like in my attempt, there were people like the other candidates were discussing about the picture. So most of them, I would say, most of them didn't perceive the picture correctly. They missed out the details. They just saw a person sitting on the table, and but that person had a like we call bedia in his hands. There were two people standing with guns behind. There was another person who was being tied in ropes. They didn't saw these characters in the picture. They were like, okay, a person was sitting on the table, and they were like, they told he's studying and all. But the entire picture perception gone wrong, na? Because the picture was something else, and they have seen something else. And another conception or like misconception that I had was the you need to impress the interviewing officer. Like if he doesn't like it, he is not going to recommend you. So I just clear it out. Like okay, I am not going to impress. I'm not going to impress. I was just going to answer the question he is asking. That's all. Not going to brag about something I have done. If he's, I will be to the point. Like if he has asked something question like okay, tell me about this, so I will just answer that. I won't add few details so that the things we have done. We like to brag about it. So I did that, and the best thing I did in my SSB was the right now what I'm doing. I just focus on that at that moment. Like if I'm going for psychology test, okay, psychology test. I won't worry about my interview. I won't worry about my GTO or what I have done earlier. So similarly, I did in my interview also. Okay, I knew that okay, the interview is going to get conducted in some time, and so I was like, okay, let's just go for the interview. Like I will tell you, I was not going through any kind of reading like news or going through anything what is going currently in the world. So I was like, okay, I will read those things when I will get screened or something. But I didn't get the time because my interview happened just after psychology test. So I was a little bit worried about what if an interview officer is going to ask me, because I am being a repeater, I should know this thing. But I can't do that in those 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So now why to worry about that? So I was like, okay, let it go. If he's going to ask me the simple answer is, I will say I don't know. But luckily, the interview officer didn't ask any question from the user subject. The entire interview went over my personality, and then he was like, okay, gentlemen, That's all. So I was like, the things which were not in my control at that moment, I didn't worried about them. Yeah, this is going to happen like that. So somehow it went good.
Situation as it came. You face the particular situation as it came.
Right.
Okay. So start off for your first day screening. People are a bit apprehensive about screening. You had also been screened out at times, apart from being conference out. Please tell us something regarding screening process.
Okay. So I would suggest everyone who is preparing for SSC just to work on the things that in your control. Okay. So like considering the first day, OER, performing good in OER is in your hand. Just practice it. There are various sets available online. Second thing is the picture. So just go with the terminologies that are being said in the SSC, like picture perception test. So your perception matters. Nothing else. Your perception. It's not about a good story at that time. Have you perceived the picture correctly? So most of the picture are not. Most of the candidates are not able to perceive the picture. They make out a good story, but the perception is wrong. So many times in a group we feel okay, my story was good, but I was screened out. But the other candidate whose story was really poor, but he got screened in because his perception was according to the picture. I think that assessors are not checking out your story is good or not. Actually, were you able to perceive? Were you able to listen to the instruction that was given? And if you are able to perceive the picture correctly, I suggest, I guarantee you that you will definitely going to get screened in. So these things in control. So don't worry about the number of candidates who are reporting. Don't worry about which entry you are going. Like there is a conception like in SSC Tech there are 400 people. There in various other entry there are only 70 people. Like in CDS entry there are 70 people. The only thing is matter at that time when the SSCs are going to access it, you will be only 15 candidates, around 10 to 15 candidates. So that is going to it will be same in each and every entry that you are going to go. And the SSCs are going to give you a 1 minute of your narration and then other group decision that is going to happen. So I think you cannot say कि मुझे अपना chance नहीं दिया because the SSS has given you 1 minute. If you would have created your impression at that time, like they gave you okay, narrate your story. If your perception was correct and you are able to narrate, you have done half of your job. That was your job. And if you're not able to perceive the picture, then everything has gone wrong. If you perceive and if you're not able to narrate, so that was also a personal mistake that I did sometimes. And talking about the group decision, like everyone know it's going to be a fish market. So I would suggest be calm. If other people is shouting, I would suggest be calm. What I do in my GD was I listen to each and every person. There were 15 candidates. I listened to each and everyone. But like I knew that the perception of the picture should be around this kind of theme. So I picked out candidates like this chest number, this chest number, this chest number have the correct perception and they have added up very good details. So I remember those chest numbers. When it came to GD, I was like, we should go with this chest number theme, and I just put out those details. His story was around this thing, and that showed कि I guess I was a good listener. I was listening to everyone, and I don't require to remember each and everything. जिसका story अच्छा था सिर्फ उसको याद करना. And when you just say that customer 13 has given a good point, and you narrate his point, he has told me we should go with the Google Forms wala point. So like the other person also get attracted. Okay, he has listened to me, so he's like be on my team. So he will always appreciate whenever you are saying he will listen to you. So when you say these points for each and everyone, so half of the people who are good in narration have a good perspective are in your team. So they are not going to block you from saying. So that fish market can be avoided in this part. And second thing is you should always push the discussion in forward direction. Like the discussion is going to the number of characters or the number of what is mood and age. You just after it is done, because the age, the mood and the the gender of the person is being narrated by all of them. So it is always around. So you can just directly push the conversation to the theme. Okay, gentlemen, we can go with this theme. And after the theme is decided, you should go with the next point. Okay, we can add these details. We can go with this actions. Like, okay, the situation was this. Now we have this actions. The action should be always in a good sequence. Like first this thing is going to happen, then this, then this. It should not be jumbled up. Then it shows that you don't have a good organizing. कैसे organize करना कि first this action needs to be carried out. So then you just help the group to go ahead, and don't think like whenever it's a group thing, you always push yourself to help the group. it should not be like you are adding points. Okay, मैंने अपना point बोल दिया तो मेरा हो गया बस. It is not going to help you guys. This attitude is not going to help. Just help the group. Okay, how a group we can come to a conclusion to a story. And as most of you would have experienced that the group is divided into two halves, 5, 5 or 7, 7. So in that you will get the opportunity to speak. So and be confident. Be confident. Don't be like okay, but if I have spoken something wrong, if you will make a mistake, you will learn from it. Just do it. And I would advise you one thing: just avoid the people who talk about the test. Because in my experience, this was happened. Like this myths, each and every candidate talk about. So I would suggest you all guys to be away from all this type of people. You just be in your own company, or just be at the washroom or somewhere other when people are not around. So and I would suggest you to practice your narration. Like after my PP wala test, so I just went outside. So I find a mirror somewhere. So like there was the candidate barracks. You have a mirror, big mirror. So I just stand in front of me and narrated around 30 to 40 times. I remember. So my fluency was to the point, and I was not using those fillers or something. I was just to the point I was saying, so that as a repeater you get only 30 to 40 seconds. You need to wrap up as soon as possible, and the only your important point should be given. So I just practice it. Okay, this point is important. You just say this point, and a proper format how you speak. So number of you start with the okay. This is a small thing that I remembered. Like when the assessor is telling you, giving the instruction, you should mark the characters like first of all gender, mood, then age. Like there is a sequence in which you need to write this. Sometimes people jumble it up. So I would suggest you guys to listen to the instruction when the assessor is giving. He will tell you gender पहले लिखना है, then age, then mood. ऐसा I remember the sequence. And the action of the story should be what is going on in the picture, not the theme. Most of the people write the theme. Uh, so they clearly mentioned out what is going on the picture should be your action. It should not be the theme. It should be your action. And then you just start with your story. And if you are able to complete the story, then it's also good. If you're not able to complete the story, then it's also fine. It's not some rocket science that okay, it was given 4 minutes because an average person can complete it. But if not able to complete it, don't worry, you will get adequate time. You can practice your narration and you can speak. And the assessor will give you that liberty as well, because that happens in most of the people. So if something has bad happened, don't let it influence your the tasks that are coming ahead. If you're not able to complete your what is story, don't let it affect your narration or your group decision. I would suggest that. That's all.
Okay, that was an elaborate one. And those who are still, have doubts regarding the screening process, even Nehru sir had talked about the screening process in the last video. If you see the YouTube videos and the last session that we covered in NFA. So that was a very good learning experience. Be confident, and especially that you pointed out the minor details. That was very important. How to arrive at consensus, listen to others and arrive at consensus and group story, take the group forward. Okay, please tell me something regarding psychological test, the second one.
So talking about the psychology test, as Colonel Nehru has also mentioned that your blank story and your self-description should be prepared. So I prepared my self-description after getting screened in the night. I sat around 8 o'clock, and then 11 o'clock I took 3 hours to complete my SD. So like can you do SD? First of all, take that how to the second to become an officer, and read that SD wala part. What all points should be written? There is a sequence sir has clearly wrote. In this sequence, you have to your SD should be your parents' ka view kya hona chahiye. Then ask your parents what they do. Think about that. Ask your colleagues, ask your teachers, ask your friends, ask yourself your opinion, and just write down that essay. Like write out points. Then later on you can make a paragraph. That's not a big thing. And I would suggest the most important thing is to figure out your strengths and weaknesses. So how can you figure out weaknesses? I will just tell you. Every day, whenever you do a task, first do everything. If you feel uncomfortable in any task, you would feel anxious or feel uncomfortable, like okay, this is not normal. So you just write it down. Okay, this situation or this scenario happened with me and I was uncomfortable. Then figure out by before going to bed, just sit down. Okay, now think why that thing happened. Why this is a very normal thing, but why I was not feeling comfortable in that. So you will figure out something you lack somewhere. I would say a little bit you will be lagging somewhere, and you will realize okay, I need to work on this thing. or either you need to accept that thing. Most of the reasons that you're not able to accept most of yourself only, so your weakness comes over there. So just start writing down your situation where you are getting uncomfortable. So I around 6 months. I started in January 2022, writing all my these things in my phone only. Whenever I used to feel uncomfortable, I used to write it down. So after getting screened in, I just the phone will get submitted in half an hour. So I wrote them on a paper. So A4 sheet, front and behind, the entire got filled. Those were the scenarios I was uncomfortable, and in the night that helped me to write. Okay, these things have I overcome, but these things I still lack. So I wrote them. Okay, these are my weaknesses, and I get to know about, okay, this is the person I am. So the SD is very important. If someone asks me, so please know yourself. That is the first part to an SSD. If you know, if a leader doesn't know about himself, so I don't think he can lead a troop. And the second thing is talking about the picture. Sorry, the TAT that comes. So observe the picture correctly. Don't worry about कि यार मेरे से तो लिखा ही नहीं जाता है 4 मिनट में. I'm never able to complete story. The same thing was with me. I told sir about it कि सर मुझसे नहीं होता. सर ने बोला कि ना जो बंदा 12th के बाद एनडी का एग्जाम देके जाता है वो फर्स्ट टाइम जा रहा है तो भी वो लिख लेता है ना, वो कर लेता है ना, रिकमेंड होता है. So it was an excuse that I was giving. I am not able to complete in 4 minutes. So that was my excuse. I was not working. Okay, let's work on your writing speed. No. So I realized it was not my writing speed that was making me to complete the story. So it was my thinking. I was thinking slowly. I was not perceiving the picture correctly. So मैंने picture को आराम से बैठ के देखा. Like I was sitting at the last of my psychology test. So everyone was starting writing in 15 seconds after 30 seconds only before the picture is going out. So this was not helping them to note down the small details of the picture. And like I will give you an example. Like there was a picture in the car is coming and there was a guy who was falling on the road. Most of the people said कि accident हो गया है. Accident हो गया है, but accident तो नहीं हुआ था. कार थोड़ी दूर थी. But most of the people कि accident हो गया, then he took the hospital. But perception is wrong, no? कि car accident तो हुआ ही नहीं था. So you could have said कि accident तो नहीं हुआ, उसने ब्रेक दबा लिया. और ब्रेक वाले बच्चा बच गया. And accident didn't happen. So like on a highway, so the on the footpath you provided railings so that no one get on the tracks. So story could just change. Just a small thing can help you out to find a bigger perspective. The important thing I find out that in TAT, the problem is you always stick to one perception. Agar you are observing picture, you will always stick to one perception. ये मैंने देखा है. I have talked to various other candidates. Everyone sticks to one perception that they have. So you should always go for different perspective that you can have. The more you will observe the picture, the more you will get. Okay, like there's a picture जिसके अंदर पीछे background में कुछ और दिखाया हो. उसने किस टाइप के कपड़े पहने हुए हैं. उसने उसके हाथों में क्या है. There could be many things. उसका hair style कैसा है, उसने specs पहने हैं. These small things, when you will relate, you will get to know. A thing will automatically come out. A storyline will automatically come out, and you will be able to write it. And you should always try to relate your experiences in TAT. In few things, the experience like if a picture of a battle troop is showed, so I know most of us haven't experienced that. Okay, that go towards a movie or something we would have watched. But most of the pictures I think are related to the experience that we had. Just try to relate all those things to your.
We will leave this aspect to Nehru sir as well. He will be in a better position to answer this. Something that we have observed, something that we have read can also form a template for our pictures. We will leave the aspect to Nehru sir. He can comment later. Moving on to the GTO task. People are very excited to know about the GTO task. Please go ahead.
As I'm a army dependent, like my mother is a farmer, and so I have been in this task. So I know that I'm really good in GTO task. So, but what I was doing my earlier written was I was not helping the group, as I mentioned in my GD. I was not helping the group. I was just thinking, how can I do good? I was focusing on myself. So I think that was where I was lacking. So in this attempt, I was focusing the group, how as a team we can succeed. So in a group decision, when everyone was writing, I was just listening to each and every one of them calmly. And when I have a very good point, I was speaking, and they were not, they were not stopping me or they were not cutting me. And like sometimes they do cut me, and I was like, okay, gentlemen, just let me complete my point. And okay, then they were like, okay. Sometimes you need to take your stand. Like people will definitely cut you, but you just take a stand. Then coming to your group planning exercise, try to listen So all these instruction, yeah, this is a very important point. Listen to instruction of the assessor. There might be a hidden problem, like there was a problem of dam papers that were stolen by some dacoits, and they were going to open the dam, and something was the problem. So everyone said, okay, okay, we will catch the dacoits and all. But the problem was that documents, that was important. If the document is not there, that same thing can happen again also in the future. So getting that document back is also one problem that no one in my group actually addressed. So you might find this kind of hidden problems in your GP that you should address. Then talking in your PGT, I would suggest you guys to please practice. There are a lot of pictures in internet, YouTube videos. You can just stop the video. You can solve it by yourself. Come up with the idea. So every PGT structure or IGT structure or commanders can be resolved through the principle of cantilever. You can surely do that. And in that also, if someone has an idea, you just yourself go, okay, gentlemen, please you come ahead, I will go back. Okay, give other chances. So in my case, like I gave the chance, but the other person couldn't do it. But I got an idea, then I asked him. He voluntary came back. Okay, yeah, please you do it. Then I was able to do it. If you will give chances to others, others will to give you chances as well. And just be a team player. And also there's one more important thing. The GTO always asks questions in between. Gentlemen, what are you doing? So in like what candidates do is they don't listen what GTO is saying. GTOs ask question, okay, what's your plan? So most of the times in my attempts also, we used to forget about the GTOs also there. So sometimes GTO gets angry. But in this attempt, I was like listening consciously to the GTO. He was asking, I was stopping the task and I was like addressing to him. Okay, this is we're doing. Okay, sorry, okay, we continue. So in your command task, also in your HGT, everywhere is going to do the same. Then coming to the next part is that lecturate. So I in this segment I was like, yeah, I will take a very hard topic. So I took ocean-based wealth. So I was like, hey, I didn't have any idea because the other topics were my hobby, my favorite teacher, and what if I become the president of India? So I was like, yeah, I will go with the first topic that is ocean-based wealth. So I devoted the topic. Ocean means water and wealth means money. So how can you earn wealth from ocean? So I used to decode, कैसे होता sources, the water, sorry, the ocean transport, the transport using the sea is the most viable because the aircraft से जाएगा तो ज़्यादा पैसा लगेगा. Road से we cannot do because each and every country has its own laws and orders. So I came up with different points, and after 1 minute 30 seconds, I was blank. I was not having any more point. But I forced myself to stay there. I was in a very uncomfortable state. Oh, I'm not going to give up. I will just stay there. I thought about around 15 to 20 seconds. I got 2, 3 points. I spoke that, and meanwhile my time was over, and I was like, okay, thank you, then. So I would suggest if you don't have points, just utilize those minutes. In each and every task, you will get a time. That is your time. Okay, that is your time. No one is going to take away that time. Just utilize that time. Okay, utilize that time. And I used to work on my physical capabilities. So the individual obstacle was I did around 13 to 14, if I'm not wrong. So I was able to do that. Then command task. I knew that my command task was going to be difficult because I was good in PGT and GT. So he gave me a really difficult task. But I would suggest just be calm. Okay. You will be able to do it. If you're not getting idea, either the GT is going to give you hints or he is going to ask you, okay, you can ask your subordinate. Because, but the ultimate thing is he is going to create pressure on you. And do address the GTO. He will always ask, okay, commander, what's your idea? Okay, commander, why are you doing this? Okay, commander, are you breaking any rules? So you just, figure out which rules you are breaking or not. And then if you are able to complete that, then it's good. And be a helpful teammate. If someone is calling for a support, be a helpful person. Whatever he is asking you, just do it. Okay? And do it as fast as you can because the clock is running out for him. It's only 15 minutes. And sometimes if you are able to do the task in a less amount of time, he is going to shift you to the third approach or the second approach on the GPO task. But let's save time for your commander if he is calling for you. So that was GPO.
Okay. Please tell us something that what happened during lecture 8 was that you were finding it difficult to recollect, but still you stayed put up. So how to go about it and how to find points when you are blank? Generally, this question comes even in social media questions that people go blank. Then what to do if the people go blank? whether it is writing stories or generating ideas for lecturates and speaking. Yes, please.
So it's totally related to everywhere. Whenever you get blank, actually it will be lectured at any task of SSD. So you just go with a basic approach. What that task is for. I wrote down on a paper like a day before every task. I used to wrote down what should be the approach. Okay, कैसे करना है? So lecture, okay, ocean based well. So I was forgetting. Okay, what would be the just breaking it a very simple points. I just broke the entire task in a very simple point. And later on I realized, oh, it was so simple. I was just complicating my hand. So you just take a deep breath and you relax. The thing is, when the lecture is going on, I thought ki people are judging me and all. I was like, okay, let them judge. If I'm not able to speak, okay, it's going to happen. So I'm not there to impress any one of them. I'm not here to make a buddy for my entire life. I was like for my selection. I was like, okay, what I could do best in my task. So I just hold my ground. I stood it, and I just thinking about it. It could have happened if I couldn't get any point. The clock would have ran out. So, but I had that confidence not to stand there for 1 minute silence because I was thinking. So you pass this confidence, then the points automatically came back. There was no thing that was holding me behind. What if I'm not able to? I was like, okay, let's think about it. Think about it. It helped me out. So not being afraid of anything.
Okay. The confidence to stay put up. Okay.
Yes.
And please tell us something regarding your interview session.
Okay. So in the interview, I went and I gave my documents and I just sat. So what happened is he directly started. Okay, Ritesh, tell me why are you not getting recommended? So I told him about I was going totally wrong. I was always thinking that the problem was with the SSB system or with the candidates because someone else. But the actual truth was the problem was within. I was not accepting myself. I was not thinking what would be wrong. If someone is suggesting me, I was like, your approach is wrong, but my approach is right. So that was leading me to a rigid thought process. And so I need to break it down. So actually, my friend and my family really helped me out. They just kept me at one place and they're like, "Dekh, aisa hai, aisa." So I started listening to them, and later on realized, okay, they are right. Actually, they are right. You just follow their approach. Man, unka, okay, that was a much efficient approach. Slowly, once, twice, thrice, and then it happened. At the last, it was always a discussion. Why your approach should be taken or why my approach. So I overcome that weakness. Then my other weakness was I was not being a flexible kind of person. I was rigid. Like, okay, I need to prepare now. From tomorrow, I will have a rigid schedule. I will wake up early in the morning. I will study. Then I will do my job. Then I will again study. So totally a rigid routine was not helping you. I was able to follow it for 3 to 4 days. Not going to help. Colonel Nehru also told me the same thing. So what I did was I added one thing that I want to add to my routine. So I like fitness thing. So okay, so I did fitness every day in the morning, only fitness. Then I will do my job and I will just relax. And slowly, if I wanted to study, so I like okay, I will study only for half an hour or 1 hour. So I just used to put that. I never used to decide a time. मैं इस time पे करूँगा अभी. मैंने कहा कि ये करना है. So what I did was I wrote all these things in paper. कि मुझे सुबह उठना है, मुझे क्या करना है? I need to make my bed. I need to drink 5 liters of water every day. I want to eat almonds, work out, all the things. There were 15 to 20 things. And I pasted that on the wall. And I, pasted a white tape and I used to tick with a marker every day. ये हो गया अभी, ये हो गया, ये हो गया. So before going to bed,
Did this happen like daily basis? Daily आप ऐसे बना के paste करते थे?
not daily. It was like 15 to 20 things that I need to do every day.
Okay, fine, got it. For every task, you pasted something on the wall, and this is what has to be done every day. Okay.
Not deciding the time, बस करना है कभी भी कर, वो तेरा काम है. I was like this. So at the end of the day, I was first day realized ये तो 5 tasks रह गए. फिर next day 4 tasks रह गए, 3 tasks रह गए. फिर कभी-कभी ऐसा होता था कि more tasks would have been remaining. So I realized कि there is something time management का issue हो रहा है. तो I am forcing myself to do more work जो मैं नहीं कर सकता, which is not possible for me to do. So I realized, so I started cutting few tasks which are not important. So, or I started making time. So finally, I came up with a good things that was, totally I was able to manage time. I was able to do it, and I used to take it okay, and that was helping me every day. Small things like now, you make your bed every day. You need just about after you wake up, You just eat food like the right food. I was saying the diet food. I have a very good diet, so I used to do that. Work out, then study, the job, and there was one more hobby. You should go out for playing any sports. You just name any sports. And there was one more thing that was added to our weekly schedule was we will go out. Any different experience from I was doing here at my home for a week. Every week there should be a different experience. You go out for anything. So I used to go out for cycling some week. I went for bungee jumping. I went for go karting. I went for paintball wala. Then I went for a long ride. Then I went. We had a home party and all. Like we used to have a different experience. Just not being a busy routine. So I'm going to get bored. So I would like to have a totally different thing. Being doing all this, I
It's a
added
learning
to the
experience for those who are listening now and also our YouTube friends that every week trying out something different. Okay.
yeah.
Huh.
So
Please,
talking about
please share more of your experiences.
yeah, so in interview, then okay, he asked this question. Then he wanted me to list my each and every experience of SSB, and he asked me why you are not getting recommended. So tell me about each and every attempt. So I explained that all the things similarly, and then he was like, okay. Then he went through my the comprehensive interviewing questions that we called. So then the interview was stressed on the financial issue of my family. Like during my graduation, there was very financial instability in my home. So how I managed it? So like I started doing part-time job. My father was not around. My elder brother also took up a job. So how we finance our entire thing. I studied a little bit more to get the scholarships to pay off my uh, the tuition fee, and so these things help. So he was these things he stressed out. Then he asked me who is your idol. So I told him that my mother is my idol. So like why your mother is an idol? So I was like I told him my mother never went to school, but she used to do up and down from Pune to Haryana to do farming. So that being a financial and as well as we belong to a very rural background, we didn't have a property. But my father in army, my mother doing farming. So one income was helping to pay all the expenses, and other was totally saving. So like there was quote, if you're not able to born in a rich family, you should be the first rich person. So sometimes something that of is happened in my family. As a family, we could help it out, and I would say my mother never being in school, but her mentality is very good. So that was she was my idol, and he also asked me about he asked me about Indian Navy. So I just need to revise my notes because my Navy entry would have been after 1.5 years. Like using the before COVID times, I went for Indian Navy. So I didn't remember anything about Indian Navy, which I know about the operations and everything, but I forgot about the names of submarines. So he looked at me and like, you don't know about any names of submarine? Then I said, sir, right now I'm not able to recall any names because I was getting the names of destroyers, and I was like, sir, no. He wanted me to guess, but I was like, sir, I don't think that is the correct name. I am, mixing up things, so I don't want to guess. If I would be sure, I would tell you. If I'm not sure, so he was like, I think that then he, thought teaspoon something is wrong. So he wanted to know कि मेरे को आता है नहीं आता. So he went on Indian Army because my father was Indian Army. He started comparing Indian Army में number of commands, Indian Navy में number of commands. Tell me the location. Tell me the location. Operations. Then the maritime borders. Then he asked me about the neighboring countries, marine borders countries who are sharing. Then he asked me about port player and all. So I was able to tell कि हाँ ऐसा होता है. So he said okay, I know things, but at that time I was not able to not able to recall those. And I would suggest that the interview is a very focused. Be focused. So I realized in this interview I was so focused. There was no electricity. I was in Visakhapatnam with a 100% humidity. During my interview, the electricity went, but I was so focused I didn't realize that. So I was saying, and then after I finished, and he stopped me. Okay, gentlemen, there is no electricity. Let's open the doors. So I was like, okay, sir, let me help you. So I helped him to open it. Then we again start studying. Start with our interview. Then there was aircraft was passing over. I was so focused कि मुझे कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता. I was interviewing officer. I was not focused on anything else. So he was not able to hear because there is a distance, and the aircraft was passing just from the above. So he was like he stopped me, and I would say just be focused, be so much attentive that you just go with the flow. That time you won't feel nervousness. And I guess around after 30 to 45 minutes, I was like, okay, I just wrap up this interview. this thing happened earlier in one of my SSP attempts. So this time I again forced myself, no, you're not going to give up so early. Go in, give your remaining energy. So I was tired at that time, and I was like, okay, just go. Then only after a minute, I somehow get the energy, and I just push myself. Okay. Then again, I was in a very good conversation with the interviewing officer. So the energy was again the high, and at the end, he was like, okay, given all the best for your future task, So I was like, okay, thank you, sir. That's how my interview went. So I was like, I forced myself in last 15 to 20 minutes of my interview to keep up the conversation.
You were toughened by the situations that you faced in your life. You talk something about your agriculture, your part-time jobs, or your the way you are continuing with supporting your family. Please share with us your this experience, because there are people who wish to clarify, those who wish to take gap in their education or in their in their work life. How important it is to keep on doing and supporting your family as much as you can. Please tell us.
Okay. So, 23 March 2020, if I remember correctly, was the day lockdown happened, and I was in my hometown with my mother. So I got, I can't go out. No one can come here. So we need to harvest this 6 acre of land that we have. So me and my mother entirely did that, and that was the first time. And I did that because I didn't want my mother to go through all those difficulties doing alone. And if you will say you could have easily asked a labor to ready, yeah, we could have done, but then what's the saving? What could have been saved? You need to save money also. So then we pushed it. So at that time, yeah, I have plenty of time. People were sitting at home. I was like doing agriculture. I learned how to drive a tractor and all. And meanwhile, after the I was graduating that year only, so I got my job also. So what I did was I'm a computer engineer, so we can flexible timings. We just have to get the work done. So in the morning, like today also, I went in in the morning to the farm, and I came around 10 o'clock. Then I will after that I will just again go back around 6 in the evening, and I will come by 8 o'clock. And you just just I would say work is important. Okay? Work is important. Just keep doing work. You are feeling anxious, you are feeling nervous, just do some workout. Like people say, do workout and all. Kuch kaam karo. You will do work, you will feel at the end, okay, I have actually accomplished something. Just do it. And think as a member of the family. Don't think कि मैंने ये कर दिया है. So, why should I do? Why I should be the only person to do it? And only two people are very important. That is father, mother. They are always think better for you. So if they are against with any of your decisions, just sit with them. Not at the time they are arguing with you, or you are arguing with them. Just take your time off after dinner or something, before going to bed, or early in the morning, whenever you get time. Just sit with them. Okay, aap batao, why you want me not to do this. Okay, this. They will give the one reason they would don't want me to go out for a trip or something. कि बेटा कुछ हो जाएगा आपको. Something would have happened. So I was like कि होना होगा तो यहाँ पर भी हो जाएगा. Anything could happen anytime, na? Tell me a good point that I should valid. So they were like, okay, they couldn't come up at that point. So मैंने कहा कि I am going with these friends, these friends, we are हमारा SST है. So I convinced them by giving a fact कि ऐसे ऐसे होगा. So and I share each and everything with them. I told them this is my plan. I am going to do this thing. ऐसा मेरा है. So I just discussed this thing with them, not with any other people, not with my brothers, or not only with my parents, because they are the people who are going to listen to you. And don't talk about it. If you are going to do something, don't tell everyone. Just keep it to yourself. After you do, they will go to get to know. And if you want to discuss, just discuss with your parents, because they are they will have your best wishes for you. And like you want to take a drop, so it is not easy to take a drop. I could have also taken a drop after my 12th. I scored only 40 marks in my JEE mains because I was a basketball player. I was just all the time playing. So, but I would say if you know you can study. If you would have studied, you would have studied in 11th and 12th only. If you are that much studious, so you would have done it there. And if you like, मैं तो कर लूँगा, मैं तो वो कर लूँगा, तो यार go ahead with that. And after 6 months, like most of the students, I think after 6 months they will feel like okay, अब नहीं हो रहा. ठीक है, because you will see your batchmates, यार वो तो आगे निकल गए हैं, वो someone is in this college, someone is this college. Or if you are taking a drop after your graduation, बोलेगा भाई कोई इस company में काम कर रहा है, someone is earning this much kind of money. You will always have this insecurities that will bother you. So take a decision, talk to your parents because they are more experienced, or someone in your field who's very much experienced and who you trust only talk to you. Because some people who are not, experienced in your field, like, I would say society people, बोलते हैं हाँ भाई ऐसा ऐसा कर ले, so they push, they बोलेंगे तो कर ले हो जाएगा, but वो उनको नहीं पता ना, उनको भी एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है उस चीज में, तो why are you listening to them? Listen to your parents or listen to the person who is experienced that field. Take a good decision in that, I would say. Just going as a blankly कि ले लेते हैं क्योंकि लोग बोल रहे हैं, मेरा दोस्त कह रहा है इसमें भी ड्रॉप ले लेता हूँ, my friend is going into this college. Just figure out, like in my case, I just decided कि मुझे computer engineering करना है. So I was not getting AIT first, as I will tell you, because my score was 40. So I took some other colleges, not a good college, that was GY Patil College of Engineering, Pimpri, if anyone of you heard of. So I took admission that. I studied for 1 year. I know, okay, if I could have taken a drop to get a good college, मैंने कहा कि अब पढ़ते first year, because there is a provision. You can switch colleges if your seat is vacant in that college and you have scored good, and you just make the merit over there. So I studied. I topped the college in DY Patil Pimpri. I went to AIT. There was only one seat vacant. I got the seat. But my thing was, I want to do computer engineering. I didn't compromise my engineering because, okay, सब लोग बोलते भाई नहीं है यहाँ मैकेनिकल मिल रहा है, कॉलेज अच्छा है तो ले ले. बट अगर वो मैकेनिकल चेंज नहीं हुआ कंप्यूटर साइंस से, तो यू विल बी फेड अप कि तुम मैकेनिकल में रह गए. तो डोंट गो विद दैट. जस्ट तुम्हें जो लेना वो लो कि मुझे कंप्यूटर ही करना है तो कंप्यूटर करो. और जैसे मुझे ड्रॉप लेने का मन था, बट मैंने कहा नहीं यार, तो मैंने फिर पढ़ा ना 1 साल, मतलब मैंने कहा पढ़ के दिखा, तो आई प्रूव्ड इट. हाँ भाई हो सकता है ना. तो यू कैन, देयर इज ऑलवेज एन ऑप्शन, आई वुड से. Just figure out your options. Research about it. You will always get it. That's all.
You will always get it. Thank you so much. And how did the group activities help you? NFA sessions, group activities.
So I joined NFA in January 2021, and my group was NFA 23. So actually, I told I was good in activity. So that helped me to be a good communicator, being more fluent and speaking out your thoughts. So that is the one thing that helped me out. Then as I told, I was good in those PGT agility. So we took the screenshots from the YouTube videos and we used to discuss among ourselves by setting up a meeting. कि भाई ऐसे करते हैं. This could be the approach. This could be the approach. Okay, lecture date में we can go with these points. ये points हैं. And like PPT में ये perception है, तो we do this. So I did this for a very good of time. Around 8 to 9 months मैंने बहुत किया. And I was like, okay, अभी मतलब I am really good at. So मेरा job management भी आ गया था, मेरा time नहीं था, तो I just left that thing for some time because now I am very good कि मैं इसमें अच्छा कर सकता हूँ. And in my group, people got recommended. There was Abhishant, I remember, who got recommended just after 2 months only. There was people like we have a really good bond. सब हो रहे थे recommend ऐसे धीरे धीरे करके. तो फिर मैं क्या, I became a coordinator of some other group. Then I did that for some time. Then due to my job and all, I was not able to manage. But once you are confident, okay, you will do good, then only you please leave. Otherwise, don't leave those groups. Because that you will get a very good information. People share those, good points also. There are various links that are shared. News wala. I really like the initiative that was started in our time. वो बहुत अच्छा है कि just read those news. If you're not a good newspaper reader, if you don't like reading, you just go through those links also.
Even now. It's continuing even now. We share.
Yes. So I know. I'm in a group, so I know that is a really good thing. Please go through that and just discuss among yourself, because see, this SSB preparation group is going to really help you. I had a group from my college and all of them got in the armed forces. All of them, like we were 8 to 10 candidates and all of them are in armed forces. I was the last person. So I will tell you, this group is going to really help you. Discuss among yourself, okay? And if you are living in one city only, just do meet each other, okay? That will going to help you to bond and अच्छे से preparation में और help करेगा. I would say this. Be a good
group behavior dynamics. Okay, thank you so much, sir. I am done. I'll give it now to Nehru sir.
Okay, Ritesh, congratulations.
Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Good morning. You've done well. I have several questions to ask you. First is, tell me, what was the mindset you had towards SSB, your attitude towards this entire affair? And post your interview, I know you are constantly thinking about self-improvement, self-analysis. You are consistently doing, as has emerged from your talk now. So, what was your attitude, mindset about SSB before you joined us? How it changed, and what all did you unlearn, and what all did you start learning?
Okay, so I was very desperate to get recommended. So there was a desperation factor that was, I would say, 100%. And still, making the same mistakes again and again. So I talked to Colonel Nehru with him, first time I remember he told me, Ritesh, you need to work on your organizing skills, communication skills. You need to get a good knowledge because I didn't clear any exams also. So slowly, because that thing is not going to happen in one day. And I was like, नहीं, हो जाएगा. एक दिन में हो जाएगा. Exam से एक दिन पहले पढ़ लो हो जाएगा. Because that we did in engineering. But it's not going to happen. So ultimately, that I was not able to clear the serious. So like, no, this is somewhere I'm going wrong. So I was like, FCAT clear ही करना है. FCAT I cleared it. Okay, but didn't got recommended. Then, so these things Colonel Nehru told me about the points. So I, followed that. And the mindset, I was like, I was not, desperate. So it is not the end of life if you're not making it. Okay. So I was like, okay, नहीं होंगे recommended, नहीं होंगे. क्या हो गया? I have a very good job. I'm happy with my family. My family is proud of me. I've done various things, and I was actually proud of me because I started seeing the things that that was mattering. I was not attached to SSB now. कि नहीं होगा तो my life is going to ruin or something. Because there are many other things you can also do good. Actually, Colonel Nehru told me to not go for armed forces, because I was doing a startup. And then startup was also really good. सर ने बोला कि startup कर लो, ये नहीं मत करो, मैं सर का ही तो मैंने अपना स्टार्टअप भी कंटिन्यू करा था, मैंने इसमें भी किया. तो उसमें क्या हुआ ना कि भाई सर ने कहा था कि नहीं हो पाया. तो अल्टीमेटली एज आई एम फ्रॉम रूरल बैकग्राउंड, तो मैं गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स का बहुत वो रहता है. तो मैंने आई डिसाइडेड टू स्टॉप ड्रॉप ऑफ माय स्टार्टअप थिंग एंड गो फॉर दिस. तो फिर दोबारा डेस्परेशन, इस टाइम पे डेस्परेशन और बढ़ गया क्योंकि मैंने स्टार्टअप छोड़ दिया. तो फिर मैंने ये जो डेस्परेशन लगा था इसको कंटिन्यू किया क्योंकि मुझे अब अपने में कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया था कि मैं कुछ तो जिंदगी में कर लूँ. ये मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया था. तो मुझे इंटरव्यू के टाइम, मेरे जीटीओ के टाइम, मुझे साइकोलॉजी के टाइम मुझे कहीं ये नहीं था कि यार अगर मैंने ये नहीं किया ना तो मेरा नहीं होगा. तो इन आई विल ट्रूली से कि इन एसआरटी आई डिड 31 एसआरटी. दैट वाज नॉट अ वेरी गुड स्कोर. आई वुड से प्लीज डोंट गेट इन्फ्लुएंस कि मेरा 31 में हो गया तो तुम्हारा भी हो जाएगा. मैंने फोकस किया था कि मैं कितना कर सकता था, मैंने एसआरटी कैसे कर रहा हूँ. सबका अपना अपना तरीका होता है. तो मेरे आई फोकस ऑन दी सॉल्विंग द एसआरटीज इन अ मैनर, like I figure out a manner for myself कि if there is a problem there is a sequence that in that action should be executed. It's not कि तुम पहले वो कर दो, सारे actions को जंबल अप कर दो, फिर तो कैसे execute होगा. प्रॉब्लम तो सॉल्व नहीं हुई. प्रॉब्लम तो कुछ और है ना कि ऐसे तो नहीं कोई एग्जाम पे प्रिपेयर करो तो पहले तुम लास्ट तक इसको सॉल्व करने लग जाओगे. पहले तो पढ़ोगे, सिलेबस करना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद ही यू कैन गो फॉर द प्रैक्टिस पेपर्स. So this is something in SRTs that I was making mistake. In WAT I left one because there was time नहीं मिल रहा, छोड़ दिया. तो I was not worrying. हो गया सो हो गया. I was like this thank you because mindset सर से बात कर करके और दोस्तों से बात करके आगे क्या है what you can do, अभी क्या कर सकते हो तो वो करो. तो मैंने बस उस पर फोकस कर रहा था. तो अपने आप भी छोटी छोटी चीजें अच्छी हो रही थी. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि कुछ बड़ा अच्छा हो रहा था, छोटा छोटा अच्छा हो रहा था. So that was keep pushing me कि हाँ something is going to happen good, something is going to happen very good. So I still remember there was a candidate before my conference, the day I woke up for the 5th day, candidate came and said कि भाई तेरा हो जाए. मैंने कहा क्यों. तो he was like भाई नहीं तेरा पक्का होगा. मैंने बोला क्यों. बोला नहीं तेरे से बंदा आज तक मैंने देखा नहीं है because तुझसे कुछ भी मांगा तू कर रहा था. like I was doing something, I was reading the practical guide to become an officer SD वाले, उसने मांगी मैंने दे दी. मैंने कहा भाई तू पढ़ ले पहले, मैं बाद में पढ़ लूंगा, मैं चलो ठीक है थोड़ा लेट है. मैंने कहा आई वाज लाइक मुझे आज भी मैं ऐसा कि समवन आस्क मी ना तो मैंने कहा भाई तू यू डू पहले, तेरे को थोड़ी जल्दी है यार. फिर तू अगर मुझे सच में कोई जल्दी है तो आई विल जस्ट टेल कि यार नहीं हो सकता. बट इफ आई एम नॉट इन हरी सो दैट सेल्फिश लेवल ड्रॉप डाउन बीइंग बिकॉज मैंने सीख लिया है कि एज अ ग्रुप तुम बहुत जल्दी आगे बढ़ोगे, बहुत आगे जाओगे, अकेले ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे. हमेशा एक एज अ ग्रुप तुम आगे जाओगे. बिकॉज देयर इज अ गुजराती फ्रेंड, उसने मुझे ये कहा था कि हर दिवाली या कोई त्योहार पे उनका पूरी फैमिली बैठती है, उनका जॉइंट फैमिली, एंड दे डिस्कस भाई तेरा कितना प्रॉफिट हुआ, तेरा कितना लॉस हुआ. जिसका लॉस होता है उसको सब पैसा देते हैं, भाई तेरा लॉस को तू कवर कर, अगली बार तू गेन कर गया. तो ऐसे वो लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं जिंदगी में. तो वी शुड लर्न फ्रॉम दैट मेंटालिटी. एज अ ग्रुप वी कैन गो अहेड. किया। ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई अकेले मैं जिंदगी में तोप हूँ, मैं ये कर लूंगा, मैंने भाई 1 लाख का पैकेज उठा रहा हूँ, पैसा ही उठा रहा है ना, फैमिली तो नहीं है फिर साथ में, आगे कैसे बढ़ोगे ना, प्रॉपर्टी साथ मिलके लोगे। तो सर ये सब सीखा मैंने।
Good, good. No, there a lot of learning has been on your own. But these changes, were they coming in as it is in your life, or something started changing when you came, joined No Frills Academy, the No Frills Academy group, the whole ecosystem? Was it having some influence, or was it
Yes,
on your own it was
yes,
taking
नहीं
place?
नहीं सर, वो आई वुड से कि वो पॉइंट था जहाँ वो ट्रिगर हुआ है, मतलब जहाँ से स्टार्ट होता है ना, दैट वाज द पॉइंट इट स्टार्टेड एक्चुअली। 1.5 इयर्स हो गए मुझे, तो वो वहां था जहाँ से स्टार्टिंग हुआ। तो व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू गो टू एकेडमी सर, आई वुड जस्ट से कि पीपल पीपल से कि एनएफए इज जस्ट लाइक दैट, ऐसा ही होता है, उसमें कुछ होता नहीं है, आई वुड से कुछ होंगे जो यहाँ के कैंडिडेट्स होंगे, बट मेरे अंदर हुआ था नहीं यार, कर्नल नेहरू सर ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट अ गुड थिंग, दैट देयर इज समथिंग, मतलब आई वाज नॉट एग्रीइंग, नॉट मैं बोलता भी नहीं था, उसने कहा भाई तुम्हारी सोच है तुम अपना जियो, तो मैंने कहा मैं करके दिखाऊंगा कुछ तो ऐसा ही। तो फिर मैंने सारे नहीं, हाँ, सो व्हेन इट हैपेंड ना, तो आई गेट, मतलब सर जो आपने बताया था ना कि ऐसा करना है तुम्हें, तो सर के बहुत सारे यूट्यूब वीडियोस हैं, मैं तो जब नहीं करता मैं सारे आई वॉच इट, तो मैं सब देखे, मैं सर ने बोला ऐसे करना चाहिए, तो मैंने वही सब किया, मतलब वही चीजें मैं करके आता था, और फिर मैं एनालाइज करता था अपने आप में, यार मैंने क्या क्या किया, तो मुझे याद आ रहा था यार ये सर यहाँ मैंने ये चीज मैंने यहाँ सीखी है, कर्नल नेहरू सर ने बताया था जीडी में ऐसा करना है, स्क्रीनिंग की जो वीडियो है मैं बहुत बार देखी है वो, तो मैंने वो देखी, ऐसे करना है स्क्रीनिंग में, यही करना है, जीडी में ऐसे बात करनी है, कमांड टास्क पे नहीं आ रहा तो पूछ लो सबऑर्डिनेट से, क्या उसमें क्या बुराई है, ठीक है, लेक्चरेट के लिए तुम्हें पढ़ना पड़ेगा, सर टोल्ड मी पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा यार, यू कैन नॉट, बिना पढ़े ऐसे नहीं होगा, कोई आर्मी की भर्ती नहीं है कि तुमने रनिंग कर दी तो हो गया, पेपर में तुक्के मार दिए तो हो गया, वो है यू आर गोइंग फॉर एन ऑफिसर एंट्री, यू नीड टू स्टडी, यू नीड टू गो थ्रू योर बुक्स, 10th 11th 12th जो उसकी नॉलेज अभी नहीं है हमारे पास, तो ये चीजें थी सर, तो दैट वाज द ट्रिगिंग पॉइंट, और स्लोली स्लोली, तो आई एम हैप्पी दैट कि सर जो दूसरे लोग बोलते थे कि एनएफए में ऐसा नहीं होता, बट आई मेड इट, और वो सही है जैसे आप बताते थे, वो परसेप्शन वाली बातें कि ऐसे लिखो, तुम्हें कुछ प्रिपेयर करने की जरूरत नहीं है, प्रैक्टिस मत करो टीएटी, जो तुम्हारी नेचुरल पर्सनैलिटी है वो निकलनी चाहिए, तो वही सही चीजें करी सर मैंने, और ऐसा कुछ अलग नहीं किया, प्रिपरेशन समथिंग डे टू डे लाइफ में जैसा जी रहा था वो जाके आप बता दिया, इम्प्रेस करना ही नहीं था सामने वाले।
तो रितेश, अभी तेरा स्टार्टअप को कौन देख रहा है?
सर वी वर अ टीम ऑफ 3 पीपल, सो वो दोनों अभी कर रहे हैं।
कर रहे हैं आप, डीलिंग हो गए उससे?
जैसे मैंने, मतलब उसमें कुछ काम आता है मेरा तो मैं वो कर देता हूँ, बट ऐसे में एक्चुअली जो 100% इन्वॉल्वमेंट होती है वो नहीं है मेरी, यू कैन से 20 to 30% है कि कहीं हेल्प हो जाए, तो जिस चीज में मैं अच्छा हूँ तो वो चीजें मैं अभी भी कर देता हूँ।
And I had told you कि तुम स्टार्टअप पे फोकस करो, फौज को छोड़ दो ना, that's what I had told you ना?
Yes sir.
हाँ?
Yes,
Yes, because I also always felt that starting something and creating a business, creating jobs is a very big thing for the society, particularly the problem society is facing today. I think you are also aware of that because since you are working in the field. तो इसलिए मैंने किया था, मैं तो भले के लिए सजेशन देता हूँ हमेशा।
ये वो सजेशन सर आपका सही भी था, but I told you I was coming from a
Of
rural
course,
background.
you have to take your own decisions. I will have my reasons for giving the suggestions, which I give also.
Right.
Fine. So Ritesh, it's very good. You have done us proud. You have done your group proud. You have done your family proud. Please continue working, and you're a good team member. Please raise your groups wherever you work in and bring them up. I have no more questions. You are open to questions from others. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Yes, thank you.